So the premise behind Bulletproof Coffee is supposed to be the fact that you are priming your body to run on fats by using the butter. But the thing is the butter is not just typical butter. You're using what's called grass-fed butter, and meaning coming from cows that are grass-fed. Cows that are raised on pasture, they're not being fed corn, they're not being fed grain, they're not being things like that. The reason that that is better is because today, in today's age, like if the cows are eating a lot of grain, they're eating a lot of corn, they are ridding their bodies of like the natural omega-3 fatty acids that are occurring, because grains and corn are so heavily genetically modified that they've lost pretty much all nutritional value. So the body is no longer, the body of the cow in that case, is no longer ever really able to process it naturally. So it starts throwing off the balance in the cow. So consequently, when they milk the cow, it's lacking the healthy fats. So the butter that you typically pick from the store, yeah, it's not good for you. I mean, it's saturated fat, we hear all this and that, but that doesn't really matter. It's more so about the balance of omega-3 to omega-6 fats. Grass-fed butter, or from grass-fed cows, they don't deal with that problem. They're not being fed these horribly genetically modified grains all the time. And it all comes back down to, you are what you ate. So, if you're eating chicken that's eating a bunch of soy and a bunch of byproducts, then yeah, ultimately you're eating that too. So it's not quite as simple as just, okay, well, I'm going to eat, this organic and it's going to make life easier. I mean, you have to really think down the chain. So the reason that the omega-3s in that butter are so good is because that primes your body to do a lot more. That primes your body to run on those fats for fuel, because your body really thrives on omega-3s. And that being said, in the same way that cows don't get a lot of those omega-3s, we don't either, just in our regular diet. Like Western culture in general, we don't eat enough fish, we don't get enough of the healthy omega-3s like fish oil that we really should, because we're eating a bunch of genetically modified stuff, whether we like it or not. And this isn't like some development talk on GMOs or anything like that. That's like totally not the case. But the fact is that it really comes down to like what your body can utilize. And when we're constantly modifying foods, our bodies just don't recognize it. They can't get the benefit out of it. So Western culture, predominantly, we just don't get enough of those healthy fats. So that imbalance of the fats in our system causes what's called inflammation in the body. And that inflammation means that you're not absorbing nutrients. You're literally getting inflammation in the gut. You're getting inflammation in your digestive tract that's preventing you from absorbing nutrients at all, which puts you into starvation mode. We all know that when you're in starvation mode, your metabolism crashes. So it's like even if you're eating enough food to not crash your metabolism, you still can be crashing your metabolism. So getting back to case in point, Bulletproof Coffee, you're adding fats to your coffee. That butter is basically a strong omega-3 fatty acid. Now, only the grass-fed butter. And I think one of the only brands you can really get in the US is Kerrygold, which is that Irish butter. And in the coconut oil, and it's imperative that you put a coconut oil in it too, because coconut oil, although it's a saturated fat, is something called a medium-chain triglyceride, MCTs. And medium-chain triglycerides, they prime your body to run on fats for fuel. They actually mobilize fat stores within the body. So when you consume coconut oil, your body, I always explain it like thinking of it like a lawnmower. When you prime a lawnmower, you push the little button, and you can feel the gasoline start to go through it like if it's cold. And then once you feel the gasoline pumping, then you can pull the cord and get it to start. Your body's kind of the same way. If you condition your body to run on fats for fuel first thing in the morning, then your body's like, oh, that's the primary source of fuel. That's what I want to use for the rest of the day. So then, consequently, later on throughout the day, when you deprive your body of the dietary fat, your body's like, well, where's the fat? Where's the fat? I'm primed to run on fat. So it starts pulling it from your adipose tissue, from your stores. So then you're running on your own fat for fuel, which is ultimately the goal. We want to condition our bodies to run on fat for fuel. So the coconut oil just enhances that. Those medium chain triglycerides do it, they mobilize the fat. They mobilize the fat out of the adipose tissue. And then, to make matters worse, you got the caffeine, and caffeine expedites that. It speeds up everything. It increases epinephrine, norepinephrine, the hormones that basically elevate your blood pressure a little bit and get things moving. So your blood volume is more. Your blood's moving a little bit faster, and everything's just expedited. And it mobilizes the fat even more. So now you've got the fat being systemically motivated or mobilized, combined with something that's artificially stimulating it to move faster. So you're burning a lot more fat that way. And it just seems really counterproductive. You're like, why would I eat fat? Like to lose fat? But it really makes a lot of sense. But when it comes down to optimization, this is what I do with like a lot of my clients is, we're trying to get the most brain power out of everything. And we have to remember that our brain is 60 to 70% fat. And it runs better on fats. So if we can get our bodies to run on those fats, we're going to have a lot more brain power. And brain power is all fine and dandy, but let's focus more on like crashing halfway through the day and just productivity in general. And just eliminating and seeing how much better you can feel in the evening when you go home and how much more personal time you can get. I mean, because we're really focusing on just enriching your life in general. And it all depends. I mean, if you're a business owner or whether you're an employee, it does matter which one. The business owner might be focused a little bit more on productivity, whereas an employee is focused on productivity, but they're focused on, I don't want to be exhausted from work. I don't want to be exhausted on my weekends. Like when I was in the corporate world, it was horrible. It was like I was riding this wave all week where I was just riding on faith almost, and then the weekend would come around and I'm like, why am I so dead on weekends? Like, this sucks. I'm always, and so I really wanted to fight that. I wanted to be able to give my brain what it needed so that on the weekends I actually had energy. And in the evenings I could, give my wife what she wanted, which was time and attention with me and play with my dogs and be with my family. And so I just think that's really important. And I think there needs to be a little bit of a paradigm shift in terms of like focusing on the brain first and everything else will follow. Because if you've got more energy after work, then you're going to be more apt to go to the gym. You're going to be more apt to go for a walk. You're going to be more apt to be active on the weekends and not just want to lay in bed later. So it's like it starts here. And then another thing it comes down to is we talk about the amount of calories that are in fat. And that's the other question that comes up to me a lot with my clients and things like that, is they say, well, calories are so high in fats. Like, but I mean, we have to eat a lot less to get the same allotment of calories throughout the day. But that's kind of a backwards way of looking at it too. Because if you break it down, carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram, protein has 4 calories per gram, and fat has 9 calories per gram. So yes, fat has a lot more calories in it. That's why the USDA and the FDA will tell you, stupid food guide pyramid thing, will tell you, don't eat a lot of fats because it's caloric. Yeah, okay, it doesn't mean anything. Calories in versus calories out is not the end all be all. It's quality over quantity, right? Mm-hmm. So when you condition your body to run on fats for fuel, I encourage you to look at it this way. I mean, think of your body as a vehicle, and you're going to the gas station, and you look, and you've got 93 octane, and you've got 87 octane. It's like, okay, well, 93 octane is going to be that much more powerful. Do you want to put that in your body, or do you want to put 87 octane in your body? It's like when you condition your body to run on fats for fuel, you're running on 9 calories per gram versus 4. If you convince your body to run that way, it's ruthlessly efficient, because then it's like, boom, I'm running on jet fuel versus gasoline, like literally double the energy. And double the energy that's going right to the brain. So I mean, it's just like a superpower once you really convince your body to run that way. And you don't have to go full hardcore Atkins or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about leveraging your time appropriately, like first thing in the morning, getting a high amount of fats in the morning, you're keeping the carbs low in the morning, so you're telling your body, hey, fat is the primary source of energy. It's just kind of what you have to remember here. You want your brain to run on that. And that's really kind of the gist of Bulletproof Coffee.